Next question on depreciation. Akshar Gyan, a bookmaking company, bought a printing machinery for rupees 26,000 on 1/4/2010. So the first year starting from 2010. So write in our summary sheet immediately 2010, 2011, and a printing machinery, we'll call it as M1. So M1 was purchased for rupees 26,000 and on 1/4/2010, and paid 4,000 for its installation. Installation charges have to be added in the cost of machinery. They have to be capitalized, because we say till machinery put to use all the expenses needs to be capitalized. So the cost of machinery will be 26,000 plus 4,000, 30,000 for your depreciation. Calculation, use the amount 30,000. Don't by mistake use only 26,000 and leave 4,000. This is not your revenue nature expense. Capitalize this 4,000 because it is expense on installation. So 30,000 is your cost and it is purchased on 1/4/2010. The printing machinery is to be depreciated at the rate 10% per annum. So depreciation rate is at the rate 10% per annum on original cost. Original cost बोल लो, straight line method बोल लो, fixed installment method बोल लो, they are all the same. कि basic जो cost है उस पे depreciation लगता है. So we will write here straight line method or original cost. You can also call it as fixed installment method, original cost method, or straight line method. Accounting year is 1st April to 31st March every year. Even if this was not said in the question, it is understood the year will be 1st April to 31st March only. On October 1st, 2012, the company sold a part of machinery for rupees 7,000. Original cost was 10,000. अब देखिए, this is an interesting question because full machinery has not been sold. Machinery 1 is partly sold. So for calculation हम इसके भी दो पार्ट बनाएंगे. One is the part which is sold and the other part which is not sold. That will be helpful in calculating depreciation. Otherwise वो end में confuse करेगा. So make two parts. Machinery sold and unsold, and purchase a new printing machinery of rupees 30,000 on the same date. So 3 years का है हमारा accounting 10, 11, 11, 12 and 12, 13. So 10, 11, 11, 12 and 12, 13. So there is no transaction during 11, 12. So write no transaction during 11, 12. Now 1st October 2012, that is your 12, 13. So 1st October 12, the company sold a part of machinery for rupees 7,000. So कौन सा मशीनरी हुआ? ये आपका मशीनरी 1 है, एक ही मशीनरी है. So मशीनरी 1, right, partly sold for rupees 7,000. So for rupees 7,000, that is partly sold with original cost of 10,000. Cost is very important. Cost जिसकी 10,000 थी वो 7,000 में सेल किया, means 20,000 की मशीनरी, 30,000 minus 10,000, 20,000 की मशीनरी I still have with me, and on the same date you purchased a new machinery of 30,000. So date will be same, 1/10/12, 1/10/12. New machinery purchase, let's name it as M2. M2 purchase for 30,000 rupees, 30,000. Now this is the end of our summary sheet. अब क्वेश्चन देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. From summary sheet start making your working सो फर्स्ट इज 10-11 का वर्किंग 1/4/2010 में मशीनरी परचेज. सो 1/4/10 परचेज मशीनरी परचेज 30,000. क्या पूरा 30,000 डालोगे? नहीं, बिकॉज दैट मशीनरी इज सोल्ड. जो उसका दो पार्ट बनाओ, सोल्ड एंड अनसोल्ड. सो 30,000 को ब्रेक करो. कॉस्ट ऑफ 30,000 सोल्ड उसमें से है जो 10,000 है. सो 10,000 सोल्ड में डालो, दैट दिस पार्ट इज सोल्ड. उसका डेप्रिसिएशन हम अलग से निकालेंगे. एंड अनसोल्ड स्टिल रिमेनिंग विद अस 20,000. ऐसे करो. प्लीज डोंट मेक वन सिंगल कैलकुलेशन ऑफ सोल्ड प्लस अनसोल्ड 30,000 का एक साथ. फिर एंड में जब डेप्रिसिएशन कैलकुलेट करेंगे उस समय आपको प्रॉब्लम आएगी. सो मेक सोल्ड एंड अनसोल्ड टू पार्ट. प्लान 2 अभी पिक्चर में है ही नहीं. टोटल के कॉलम में 30,000. ओके, नाउ नो ट्रांजैक्शन ड्यूरिंग द ईयर. सो ऑन 31/3/2011 you have the entry for depreciation. So depreciation डालो. 10% on straight line method means 10,000 का 10% 1,000 and 20,000 का 10% comes to 2,000. So this is your depreciation. Total depreciation is 3,000 and just calculate the WDV. So first year is done. Your WDV as on 1/4/11. 10,000 minus 1,000 9,000. 20,000 minus 2,000 18,000. And इन दोनों का सम ले लो या 30,000 minus 3,000 कर दो 27,000. Okay, there is no transaction in 11/12, so only depreciation का transaction. 31/3/12 depreciation. How much? It is straight line, तो ओरिजिनल कॉस्ट पे डेप्रिसिएशन होगा फुल ईयर का. सो 10,000 का 10% डेप्रिसिएशन 1,000 अगेन. and 20,000 का 10% again 2,000. Total depreciation 3,000 again. Again we'll calculate the WDV on 1/4/12. 9,000 minus 1,000 is 8,000. 18,000 minus 2,000 16,000. And 27,000 minus 3,000 is 24,000. Now see, plant and machinery 1 is partly sold. तो अब अपना सारा ध्यान sold वाले पे डालो एक बार. The part which is sold. Okay, so it was sold on 1/10/2012. So 1/10/2012. कोई भी मशीनरी सेल्स होती है तो 3 things you have to remember. First thing is, first calculate depreciation till the date of sales. Once that is done, sales का अमाउंट कितना है तो वो कंपेयर करो कि प्रॉफिट हो रहा है कि लॉस हो रहा है. आई शो यू द वर्किंग हियर. देखो डेप्रिसिएशन 1/10/2012 में. सो डेप्रिसिएशन सिर्फ सेल्स पार्ट का डेप्रिसिएशन निकालेंगे. बाकी मशीनरी तो है ना हमारे पास 31/3/2013 तक जो जा रही है उसका डेप्रिसिएशन 1/10/2012 में हमको निकालना है. सो डेप्रिसिएशन कितना होगा? ओरिजिनल कॉस्ट 10,000. अब ये 6 मंथ्स तक ही है, 10 तक ही है हमारे पास. अप्रैल that is 4th to 10. So depreciation how much it will be? It will be 10,000 into 10% into 6/12. Okay, so the depreciation comes up to 500 here. Now, what is the sales value? You tell me what is the sales value. See, 8,000 minus 500 depreciation. तो एक बार इसका WDV देखोगे आप, तो WDV comes up to 7,500. Okay, and now सेल, आप उसको कितने में सेल कर रहे हो? द सेलिंग प्राइस इज मेंशन्ड हियर, पार्टली सोल्ड फॉर 7,000. तो सेलिंग प्राइस is 7,000. So WDV 7,500, selling price 7,000 only. So profit or loss, ज्यादा कॉस्ट का आइटम को 7,000 में ही सेल कर दिया. So obviously it is loss on sale. So 700 is your loss on sale. And these all transactions are going on 110-12 till loss of sale 700, and this is your sold out item now. Okay, अब आओ जो अनसोल्ड पार्ट है P1 का, जिसकी ओरिजिनल कॉस्ट 20,000 थी, उसका डेप्रिसिएशन 110 को क्यों निकालेंगे? उसका डेप्रिसिएशन तो क्लोज में निकालेंगे हम. सो डेप्रिसिएशन ऑन 31/3/2012, 31/3/2013. सी डेप्रिसिएशन कितना होगा? Now this is for the whole year. So 20,000 into 10%, that will come up to 2,000. So 2,000 here. And see, one more transaction, that on 1/10/2012 only asset was also purchased. So now they are talking about plant number 2. So the asset purchase for 30,000 का 1/10/12 में रिकॉर्ड करना है. So 1/10/12 asset number 2 came into picture, purchase of that asset, and that is for 30,000. Okay, now this is also for 6 months. So when you calculate depreciation on this 30,000, it will be 30,000 into 10% into 6/12, क्योंकि 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 मार्च तक रहा है, 6 months था. So 30,000 into 10% into 6/12, and the depreciation will be 1,500. Over here also, and total depreciation here will be 3,500. So this is your sold portion. 16,000 जो है उसमें से 2,000 जाएगा. So your WDV will be 14,000. And now 30,000, that is purchase में से 1,500 you remove, that will come up to 28,500 WDV. And here 24,000 था, 24,000 में से ये टोटल में 500 you remove the depreciation. So came 23,500, right? 23,500. And from that 7,000 was your sales amount. So sales amount gaya 7,000, and then you have your loss on sale of furniture, which comes up to 500. See, loss 7,500 minus 7,000 comes up to 500. So loss on sale is 500. And then 30,000 अंदर आया, new machinery. So 30,000 here, and 3,500 is less for your depreciation. The figure will come up to 42,500. So with this working, we will start on plotting your printing machinery account. So entry as on 1/4/2010 to purchase the machinery. Machinery account debit to cash or bank. So to bank. How much? 26,000 installation plus 4,000, 30,000 in the outer column. And No other adjustment here. So as on 31/3/2011, entry will be depreciation account debit to machinery by depreciation. $30,000 का 10%, 3,000, and the remaining will be your balancing figure. So on 31/3/11 only, by balance carried down. $30,000 minus 3,000, 27,000, and the total is 30,000. This ends up with your first year. This was simple. Now 1/4/2011 को opening, 1/4/11. No machinery purchase or sold, so just balance नीचे ले आओ. To balance brought down 27,000. Now 31/3/12 में और कुछ तो है नहीं, so depreciation entry 31/3/12 by depreciation. Now it is straight line method, so 30,000 का 10% again comes up to 3,000. ओरिजिनल कॉस्ट पे होता है स्ट्रेट लाइन, एंड 31/3/12 में ही बाय बैलेंस carried down. That comes up to total 27,000 minus 3,000. So 27,000 is the total. Minus 3,000 comes up to 24,000. So simply take the balance on 1/4/12 to balance brought down. That is 24,000. Now twist, one portion of machinery 1 is sold. So उस डेट तक का depreciation 110 को लगाइए first. 1/10/12. Keep looking at the working. So by depreciation, how much depreciation? 500 till date for 6 months. So by depreciation, that is machinery 1 का जो sold part है उससे उसका depreciation 500. Okay, and now 1/10/12 को ही you got the money from bank or in form of cash for sale of that machinery. So bank account debit to printing machinery account by bank. 7,000 में ये machinery sales कर दी हमने, so 7,000. Now the cost was 7,500 and we have sold it for 7,000, so there is loss. So the entry for loss will be profit and loss account debit to machinery account. So by profit and loss account, इसमें लॉस है ये. How much? 7,500 minus 7,000, that comes up to 500. 1/10/12. Okay, loss on sale of machinery is also recorded. Now you have to this is transaction till 1/10/2012. On 1/10/2012, one more addition is being made to your plant and machinery block. So plant and machinery account debit to bank or cash. So to bank on 1/10/12, that is plant and machinery 2. How much it is? It is costing 30,000. So this is the addition. अब depreciation की entry पे आ जाइए at the closing of the year. 31/3/2013 by depreciation. Plant and machinery 1. So your machinery 1 unsold part, that is 20,000, 10%, 2,000, that is recorded, and new machinery का depreciation is also there. So new machinery 2. So by depreciation of your machinery 2. That is also on 31/3/2013, and that is how much? 30,000 into 10% into 6/12, because 110 को ही वो आई थी, तो मार्च तक का डेप्रिसिएशन, तो that will be 1,500. Okay, so after doing all the adjustments, we will get the balancing figure here. So total of 24,000 plus 30,000 comes up to 54,000. And this total is also coming 54,000. On 31/3/13, by balance, carry down, subtract these 5 items, and the balance you get is 42,500. So this is how you make a asset account. The working is very important. When in machinery you have one part as sold and the other part as unsold. उनको ऐसे ट्रीट करो as if they are different machinery. एकदम कैलकुलेशन अलग अलग होना चाहिए दोनों का, अदरवाइज डेप्रिसिएशन एट द टाइम ऑफ सेल्स निकालने में प्रॉब्लम होगा. Once you practice more, you will get used to it.